Back at Richmond, David Gilliland has finished his qualifying laps, currently third fastest in that 34 car. And Travis Quapple, not Travis Quapple, we already saw Travis. Landon Castle has just finished his qualifying laps, and that's a pretty good number there, 21:39.
Yeah, that's close to a second faster than his best practice speeds. That's a good lap for Landon.
Mike Skinner on the racetrack now, about to complete the first of his 2 laps. Skinner, one of the guys that has to make the race on time. 6 out of 7 that have run.
I would anticipate this second lap being a little quicker for Skinner. I saw him really working his tires as he went off of pit road onto the racetrack, so he really wasn't up to speed all that good going down the back straightaway.
Looks like it's tracking pretty close to the first lap, but he does pick it up a few hundredths.
Skinner has beaten 1 of the go-or-go-home cars so far. 3 is the magic number to be in the race. Doc?
And chase contender Kevin Harvick locked in. And Kevin, not where you wanted to be in practice, 16th overall. How does that impact you in terms of qualifying? Does it worry you at all?
Well, we didn't do a qualifying run in the second practice, so we felt really good about our race stuff on our Budweiser Chevy. And qualifying's never been a real strong suit of ours, but we did ours at the end of the first practice, and the track was hot. And so this is kind of just a guess, and you see where you fall and hope it all goes right.
They think they'll be really good in race trim, maybe.
We'll get to see before too long here when Harvick climbs into that 29 machine, Doc. Here is Eric Darnell out on the racetrack, and that corner didn't go well.
He got down in there pretty decent, but spent a lot of time getting back to the throttle. You can see how much time it cost down the back straightaway and into 3.
Same thing in 3 and 4. Just not good through the middle of the corner at all.
Darnell has to make the field on time.
Almost looks like a situation of the splitter hitting and just having to ride that car out until it kind of lands and wants to decide to turn.
Interesting to watch the graph of that second line when he tried to adjust a little bit.
That shot right there showed the splitter slamming the track, getting into turn 3.
7th out of 8, Travis Quapple locked into the field. Skinner, Darnell, and Bell still waiting to see what goes on. It seems to be an awfully long line, not necessarily of cars on pit road waiting to qualify, but cars back in the garage area, Vince.
I was just talking with one of the NASCAR officials here in the technical inspection area about, is this unusual to have this many cars long? Well, the qualifying laps are shorter, of course, on a short track. And I know you guys will find this hard to believe, but also says that on a short track, teams will sometimes try to push it to the edge, maybe even a little beyond, and then you have to go through tech inspection a time or 2. And that seems to take a little longer. That's when you get that big hammer out, right?
Yeah.
They wouldn't push it, would they?
Those fine adjustments. Here's Michael McDowell. And while McDowell makes his couple of laps, we'll track his times, and we'll talk with Doc and Juan Pablo Montoya.
Alan, this guy pulled off a big surprise here in the spring, put this car on the pole. Juan Pablo, you got something for him today?
I think it's our target Chevy. Last time we were here, we were surprisingly good in qualifying. Today we really struggled, been really tight, a lot of char on the front tire. So for qualifying, we actually just put the 1 car setup in at the end. So we'll see what it does.
All right, Juan Pablo Montoya pulled off a shocker in the spring. As you heard, they were chattering big time in final practice.
We'll see if the Jamie McMurray setup under that 42 car is able to make a little more magic here. Michael McDowell's locked himself into the field and given us the second fastest time overall so far early in our qualifying session here at Richmond. McDowell and Quapple are in. Lots of cars still to go, including Tony Stewart's.
Goal Line from ESPN gives you an unprecedented college football experience. Every Saturday, we take you on a non-stop trip across the country so you can catch every touchdown, every incredible upset,
what a grab,
and every wild finish.
Kick it over, covers it.
Live as it happens. But when it counts on Saturday, watch ESPN Goal Line, presented by Capital One. Saturdays noon to midnight. Available on Time Warner Cable, Verizon Fios, and Bright House Networks, and streaming live on Watch ESPN.
Engines are tuned. So are Mobil 1 motor oils. Tuned for blistering performance. Tuned for everyday extremes. And with Mobil 1 Extended Performance, tuned to keep your engine running like new for up to 15,000 miles between oil changes. Mobil Formidable One extended performance from the Motor Oil brand designed to keep your engine running like new.
"40 years. 14,610 days. 1.2 billion seconds of Gatorade science, passion, and evolution. All for the 1 second you needed. The G-Series. Grind, perform, recover.
As a team owner in the NASCAR Nationwide Series, I know pleasing fans is a top priority. Because without the fans, there'd be no NASCAR. Just like if it weren't for customers, there'd be no Nationwide. That's why they serve their customers' needs, not shareholder profits. Because as a mutual, Nationwide doesn't report to Wall Street. They report to their customers. And that's just one more reason why the Earnhardt family has trusted Nationwide for more than 30 years. Nationwide is on your side.
Floor seats.
Scoring your dream tickets is no longer a fantasy, even on the day of the event, even if it's sold out. StubHub, where do you want to sit?
You are looking at Robbie Gordon successfully completing his qualifying laps here at Richmond International Raceway and successfully placing himself into the field for tomorrow night's race. 6th fastest overall for now and locking in a starting spot for Robbie Gordon. Just before Robbie, Dave Blaney ran, and to borrow a phrase, love it when a plan comes together. Tom Baldwin's going to have 2 cars in Saturday night's race. Stephen Light in the 36 on the points, and Dave Blaney in the 35 on time. David Reagan is getting set to go, Doc.
And this is David Reagan's best short track race, or short track that he's ever been to in a NASCAR Sprint Cup car. Finished 3rd here before, finished 4th in the spring. David, how realistic is it for you guys, as good as this car has been here in the past, to win this race tomorrow night and sneak into the top 20 and get in the chase?
Oh, we can certainly do it. You know, our UPS team, we sat around a table 3 or 4 months ago, and we looked at some races that we could win these final 15 or 20, and Richmond's one that pops up. This is the same car that we ran 4th with here just a few months ago, and you know, it's not something that's going to be easy. We've got to go out and drive hard, work hard. It's going to start here in a little while. We need to get a good qualifying lap in, but we can do it. That's what we're here to do, and if it happens, you know, I know some other things have to happen to make the chase, but that's what we're going to work for, and drive as hard as we can for 400 laps.
David Reagan hoping to get UPS in the chase, guys.
All right, Doc, thanks. J.J. Yaley, unsuccessful in his rain dance attempt last Tuesday in Atlanta to hold the lead when they did not pit at that rain that interrupted the race midway, but successful in getting a spot in Saturday night's race in the 55 car. Yaley locked in. 8th fastest overall for now. T.J. Bell is on the bubble when the next go or go homer comes onto the racetrack. The bumping will begin. Denny Hamlin. Wouldn't surprise me to see him up there in the top 5 somewhere.
Not at all. Matt Kenseth, he struggled a little bit in practice today. We'll see if they've got this car tuned up for qualifying.
Looking good until the middle 1 and 2. Still hanging in there.
Yeah, I think his quote was when he was talking to his crew was the changes they had made in practice was they went from a 38th qualifying spot to 32nd. So see if they're better than that.
It's a lot better than they were.
2nd fastest for Matt so far.
The track is a lot faster than it was in practice, so I don't know how this is going to stack up when they all make their runs.
Yeah, it's just going to continue to get quicker, too, as we move on through this session.
Yeah, it is, Dale. I'm looking at 3 and 4, and it's now completely shaded through the middle of the corner, where earlier there was sun on it when the qualifying session started.
Lap 1 a little faster. 2nd for now for Matt Kenseth behind Landon Castle, the early leader. There's our crew chief legend, Jimmy Finnig, on the right of the screen. We've got a couple of coaching legends getting set to lead their programs into a great game on ABC tomorrow afternoon. Nick Saban's number 3 ranked Alabama Crimson Tide heading up to Happy Valley for a tough game against Joe Paterno's number 23 Penn State Nittany Lions. It's college football presented by Buffalo Wild Wings on ABC. Saturday at 3:30 Eastern, 12:30 Pacific. That's our lead-in for Countdown in the Sprint Cup race tomorrow night.
That's a good lead-in. Penn State better be ready. That Alabama defense, that's about as fast a group as I've seen in college football.
Had someone on our crew who's a big Alabama fan. They won their game last week but turned the ball over a little bit. And I said to him, your team better hang on to the ball. And he said to me, it's going to be a tough week of practice. Here's Andy Lally. Making that transition from road racing to oval racing over the last 3 years. And Andy, in his first lap, is going to be 10th fastest out of 14.
Yeah, it's been a big adjustment for him, but really has done pretty well on most of these racetracks. He gets in these races and then doesn't find himself in a lot of trouble. He's getting a lot of experience in finishing most of these races, so you just see the improvement week to week.
Woo. Little wiggle, little wobble there. So the second lap is going to be, well, I thought it was going to be a little slower. It's actually a little faster by about a half a tenth, a little over a tenth. So Andy Lally, 8th right now out of 14 that have gone so far. Casey Kane getting ready to go. Paul Menard as well.
I've been doing this for 15 years. And when you dedicate your life to something, you expect something in return. I guess you could say this is the return. Welcome to my world, the world of Red Bull.
Advanced engine in its class, 50 horsepower, dual overhead cams, and fierce acceleration, the Gator XUV 825i will shatter your expectations.
With gout, high uric acid can lead to more attacks. If you have gout and struggle with high uric acid, there may be something that can help. Uloric reduces the amount of uric acid your body produces, which can help you reach a healthy level. Uloric lowers uric acid levels in adults with gout. It's not for the treatment of high uric acid without a history of gout.
Don't take Uloric if you are taking azathioprine or mercaptopurine. Gout may flare when starting Uloric. Don't stop taking it. Your doctor may give you other medicines to help prevent flares. A small number of heart attacks, strokes, and heart-related deaths were seen in studies. It's not certain Uloric caused them. Certain tests to check liver function may be required. Tell your doctor about liver or kidney problems or history of heart disease or stroke. The most common side effects are liver problems, nausea, gout flares, joint pain, and rash.
If you have gout and struggle with high uric acid, ask your doctor how Uloric may help.
Hey guys, the reviews are in on Cars.com.
Really? What'd they say?
Well, let's see. It says Sheila looks great, topless.
What's so funny?
Nothing.
Nothing.
And it says here Hank's a real gas guzzler.
You hear that, Hank?
Whatever. Hey, what about me? It says your ride is very smooth.
Aw, yeah. Hear that, Sheila?
Never gonna happen.
With consumer and expert reviews, confidence comes standard.
See? Just like the review said. Big rear end.
Excuse me?
Hey fans, customize my gear. My gear. My gear. My gear. Only at the NASCAR.com Superstore.
NASCAR Sprint Cup Series qualifying. Let the bumping begin here at Richmond International Raceway. David Stremme on the racetrack, needing to qualify on time. TJ Bell on the bubble for the moment.
Yeah, Stremme's got a good lap going here. Just a little over a tenth off the pole time so far. Yeah, that'll get him, man.
Walks himself into the race. Bumps TJ Bell from the field for tomorrow night.
This guy's just too good of a race driver not to be getting something where he can run week in and week out. He just has a lot of talent.
Yeah, he's proving it week in, week out, how fast he can make these cars go. Picks it up second lap.
Trying to build something here and get something going that they can get a full effort together for next year. Not alone in that. In this economy, and sponsorship's hard to find, that kind of thing. There are some people that are trying to look at it as an opportunity to build an effort from the ground up. Stremme and this group are one of them. Paul Menard's car, we saw the driver out there a minute ago. Now here comes his car.
Yeah, that's a lonely feeling sometimes. You're standing down there knowing where your car is supposed to be, but it wasn't there, Andy.
Well, I saw it sitting down there for a long time in one spot. I don't know why. What's going on there?
One spot in the inspection process?
It was actually just pulled out of line, just to the side of the inspection line. It sat there for a good while. And then all of a sudden, now they're in hurry-up mode.
Don't know.
How you crew chiefs do things sometimes. Upsets the drivers. Y'all don't understand all that.
Here's Brian Vickers. Best starts of this season so far, a trio of fifth-place runs. Brian has had a pole position here at Richmond before, and his very first try at this racetrack in a Sprint Cup Series car. Started on the pole.
This is the 10th driver that's gone out after Landon Castle's lap. And it still holds up. Landon Castle still staying on the pole. Brian Vickers comes up close, though.
Second fastest for Brian. And we were talking about that 27 car kind of being rushed down to its spot in line, Doc.
Let's find out from Paul. Paul, what was the deal with the car? Why was it late getting down here?
What's that?
I said, why was the car late getting down here?
Oh, I'm not sure. I've been out here waiting.
Okay, the crew, one of the crew reached over a moment ago and was telling him that NASCAR, as the chase approaches, NASCAR getting specific on some of the tolerances. They wanted to make sure everything was right, so they held it to double check it. You saw him using the rubber hammer on the Jeff Gordon car a little while ago, and they were very, very close, but had to be inside the tolerance. And I'm hearing now from a crew member that was the deal here with the 27 car. Paul Menard getting in quickly. They're going to send him out as soon as they can get him buckled in to qualify.
All right, Doc, thanks for that update. Here's Tony Stewart. Talked about earlier with Vince, looking for good track position to start with.
Yeah, good lap here. Is he going to get there? Not
Close.
quite.
Real close. If he can pick it up just a little bit this second lap, he can get it. Let's see. Slips a little bit right there.
Yeah, nice wide arc into the corner, but you see it cost him getting back to the throttle just a little bit.
We have some research that shows the majority of the accidents in the races here happen between 11th and 21st in the running order.
11th and 20th, I would think it would, well.
Doesn't surprise me. See, Tony slows down just a little bit on that second lap. But, yeah, if you find yourself back there somewhere between 15th and 30th, if you're going to qualify in that, you're either going to be putting yourself in a three-wide situation or you're going to find yourself being put in a three-wide situation, which on this short track only can create and possibly mean trouble for you. So, yeah, it's not a comfortable position to be in.
See where things go here. Remember the big one they had in April? That started at 12th place. So we'll see where that shakes out for Tony, and for he and Dale Jr. looking to preserve a position they have in a chase qualified spot right now. We'll see how they end up lining up. Another driver in search of a race car.
I'm telling you, these crew chiefs I know these guys got their Sprint cell phones on them. So even before they get ready to go, just call and say, hey, we'll be there.
Slick.
The crew chief might be a little busy right now, though.
Act like your driver had practice with those sponsor mentions over the years or something. Martin Truex Jr. on the track, 56 car. Last short track race, track of less than a mile, was Bristol, where he finished second.
Yeah, good solid run. Last time we saw him on the track today, he was pretty sideways, so looks like he might have taken it easy on that first lap. He picked it up to the 6th spot on that second lap.
So Truex has, for the moment, put himself into the top 10, but got a long way to go in this qualifying session. And remember, they line up reverse order of how fast they were in the first practice today. So in theory, the fastest cars come at the end of the line. Juan Pablo Talked with him a minute ago, or a bit ago. Take your choice.
Not too long ago.
Remember, they said they put Jamie McMurray's setup under this car because his car was shattering the tires in practice.
Sometimes when you can't make anything work, it's time to just back up and punt.
Yeah, that's always hard doing that right as you qualify. See, Montoya gets off of turn 2 really well with this setup.
Yeah, this setup's working for him.
What we've seen, though, is Landon Castle really put down a good lap, but it's like Montoya's going to beat him right here.
There you go, new leader, car 42. Montoya has started on the front row for the last 2 races here at Richmond, the NASCAR Sprint Cup Series.
I don't know if that's going to get him on the front row again, but
pretty good effort, though.
Yeah. First lap, the better of them. And Montoya takes the lead in qualifying away from Landon Castle.
He held it. Castle held it for 13 cars, though.
It's pretty good.
Yeah.
Still waiting on Paul Menard to get in his car and come out onto the racetrack. Expect we'll see him when we come back.
Small space, meet big power. The Craftsman Compact Right Angle Impact Driver. Over 3,000 impacts per minute for powerful torque on the toughest projects in the tightest spaces. Craftsman, trust in your hands.
Losing power shouldn't mean losing time. The Next Tech Quick Boost. Giving you a charge in just 3 minutes, getting you back to work faster. Craftsman, trust in your hands.
Rated M for mature.
I can't take it. I can't.
Are smiley, happy dancing games not your thing? Hello, I'm the official spokesman for Rise of Nightmares. No dancing, no happy, bouncy aerobics, just good old-fashioned violence and gore. Rise of Nightmares.
Only on Connect for Xbox 360.
Their stories will touch you.
Equipment's so outdated, I'm afraid that someone's going to get hurt.
And the transformation
We need help. That's my plea.
will amaze you. This fall,
Things like this don't happen to our school.
witness a community come together around 4 high schools in need.
Rise up is coming.
Rise up is coming.
A chance to rebuild, reach out, and rise up. Presented by Real Steel. Premieres Tuesday night at 7 on ESPN.
Are your credit cards maxed out? Just making minimum payments or even behind on your bills? Call us now. Freedom Debt Relief's mission is to help you get rid of your credit card debt. Reducing America's credit card debt is vital for our economy. Now, there's a program to help you. We offer the successful alternative to bankruptcy, credit counseling, or taking on new loans.
I had over $25,000 in credit card debt. Then I called Freedom Debt Relief and got my debt cut in half. I resolved my debt in about 24 months.
At the end of my divorce, I had $17,000 in credit card debt. Then I called Freedom Debt Relief. They were able to settle all 7 of my credit card bills with one low monthly program payment.
This program has saved our clients over $100 million. Before you make your next credit card payment, talk to us. This is a unique program that will get you relief and on your way to resolving your debt. Make the most important call of your life today.
Call Freedom Debt Relief now at 1-800-652-0335. That's 1-800-652-0335. 1-800-652-0335.
Well, we saw him leaving as we went to break. Paul Menard on the clock. After waiting for his car, Menard for Saturday night and his hopes of making the chase off that win in Indianapolis in the Brickyard 400. It's simple. Win and you're in.
Car tail happy all the way up to the start-finish line.
Yeah, good lap right there, though. Second quickest so far.
I just think all those drivers hate when you say that you're back there watching qualifying. He says simple, win and you're in. Oh yeah, simple.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
If it's that simple, we might have got another one before race 26 here. But
I know it. Second lap, just a shade slower, like 0.07 of a second. Paul Menard, second fastest so far. Tony Stewart, fourth for the moment, Vince.
And we were talking a little bit before qualifying began about track position at the start of this race and noted that in your 3 wins here, your average starting position was 4th. not impossible to come from deep in the field, but how much more difficult is it to come from midsection or back?
Yeah, I don't remember what it's like to qualify in the top 4 here, but it's definitely a lot harder. I mean, we in the spring race here, we qualified in the back, and we got a lap down early and never could recover from it. So you definitely need a decent run, but I don't know if what I ran there is going to be good enough for that or not. But I think we've got a car that it seems like, looking at the sheet, after about 10 laps, our car is as good as anybody else's, and maybe a tick better after 20 laps on. So hopefully we'll get a lot of long runs tomorrow night.
Keep an eye on Tony Stewart tomorrow on that long green, Alan.
Yeah, just remember the April race here, 31st to 9th for Stewart on that night. Kevin Harvick, new leader. Down into the 2120s.
This track, just like Dale said, it's going to get quicker and quicker. And we have quicker cars going towards the end, so we're going to see these speeds pick up.
Second lap for Harvick, just a few split seconds slower. So Kevin, new leader in qualifying, knocking Montoya back from that top spot. Regan Smith had a front row qualifying effort here not too long ago, Doc.
Yeah, back in spring, Alan, he said on the front row he was a surprise of qualifying back in, and the Darlington winner was. And now people are saying today in the garage area, you may not be a factor for the pole, but watch out tomorrow night. Are they right? You going to have something for them tomorrow night?
Well, I hope they're right. We did a lot of race trim today, and we kept our car in race trim pretty much the whole session. We did one mock-up run early on in the day. The furniture on Chevy was pretty good. There's a couple little things we want to work on overnight to make it a little better, and then who knows? I think you come to these short tracks, and it's what we're all brought up on racing at, and hopefully we'll have a shot.
Good luck to you.
All right, thank you.
Earnhardt Childress Engines, guys. Remember, a talented driver and good horsepower.
See Regan here out on the track in just a bit. David Reagan at one of his better racetracks on the clocks.
Runs the identical time of Landon Castle.
Tiebreaker to David Reagan.
You go by points, break that tie.
David again, win, and he could be in. His win down at Daytona, a second victory, could get him a spot if he's able to also, through other circumstances, be in the top 20 in the point standings at the end of Saturday night's race. And there's David, outside of row number 2 for now. But plenty of cars still to come in qualifying. Kevin Harvick, new leader in qualifying, Vince.
Standing by with Kevin Harvick. And, we were talking the track temperature during practice quite a bit higher than what it is now. How has that affected the track?
Well, it's affected it a lot. And I think for us it was a good thing with the things that we were fighting in practice. I don't feel like I got everything I could have gotten out of the Budweiser Chevrolet, but, we just needed a solid lap. Qualifying's not our strongest point, but the guys did a good job getting the car turned around and taking a good guess at what we needed for qualifying, so it worked out okay.
He's in the chase. He'll be running for the championship.
All right, Vince. Thanks, Joey Logano. Part of that Joe Gibbs Racing Richmond juggernaut. Won the last 5 straight races. Logano has finished 4th and 11th in the last 2 Richmond races.
I think Joey's just becoming better and better, especially short track driver, where he takes so much field and you need to get so much information back to the crew chief. And I think we're seeing a big improvement in Joey Logano in that way.
He's flirting with it.
And a really good 1 and 2.
He got a little loose off of turn 4, which is easy to do. You power down and it's got a lot of room out there, but the car really wants to go towards the wall.
And the 4th fastest for now for Joey Logano at a 21:35. Kurt Busch's car was supposed to go out on the track 2 cars ago.
Yeah, I think he's been through tech a couple of times here. Doc?
Well, I tell you, what we do know is that Kurt Busch is out here ready to qualify. He's out here on the track ready to be able to qualify, but Kurt, unfortunately, the car is not. You're ready to go, but the car is not. Any idea what's going on?
No, I didn't hear anything you said, Doctor.
I said you're out here ready to qualify, but they keep rolling the car back across the scales. I guess they're looking at a couple things.
Yeah, whether it's wheelbase related or rear end yaw, I don't know. I mean, a lot of times the officials say it's good in the morning, then we tweak one shim and then it's not good. when we're trying to go through qualifying. Really, it's a tight window to get everything done, and we're just off a little bit. So they'll get it fixed, and we'll get it out here.
All right, Kurt Busch waiting patiently for his car to get out here on pit road, guys.
It's on the way, Doc. Looks like they just rolled off the last inspection station and are getting ready to rush it down to the front of the grid. Dale Jr., second of his 2 qualifying laps. Talked about starting mid-pack.
Yeah, it'll start mid-pack or maybe even a little further back.
Yeah, he's going to, I have a feeling he's going to start outside of where he needs to finish to lock himself into the chase, but racing's a different thing here, so see how they can do with their car. Looked like their car was better in the longer run type situation like Tony Stewart was talking about in that last practice session.
Junior 20th or better if Brad Keselowski earns maximum points. 20th or better locks Junior into the chase in Saturday night's race. Here comes the 22 car.
Yeah, and different drivers handle this type of situation differently. You know, Kurt might be fine with, rushing. I just always like for it to be there where you can get in, just kind of settle into the seat a little bit. And, sometimes when I've been in this situation where you're kind of rushed and you just get in there, throw everything. Sometimes you do better. You're not thinking about everything. You just go get it done.
Yeah, you don't overthink it.
Yeah.
Joe Nemechek in the 87. Eric Darnell is on the bubble in the 37. Joe, one of the guys that must qualify on time, not in the top 35 in owner points. Nemechek is in. Darnell is out. And Joe with the 20th fastest lap so far.
And Joe's struggling for grip right here on this lap. He was much better in practice.
Well, busy hands there. Second lap for Nemechek, a little bit better. 19th overall, but most importantly, locks him into the field for Saturday night's race. And again, Eric Darnell has been bumped. Of course, going to race here on Saturday night. On Sunday morning, NFL Countdown kicks off at its new time of 10 a.m. with 3 hours of NFL news and information with some of the top insiders of the game. Chris Berman, Tom Jackson, with Bill Parcells, Coach Ditka, and more. 10 a.m. on Sunday. SportsCenter starts today at 8 a.m. That's all in just a couple of days as football season gets wound up.
That's a lot of knowledge in those 6 faces right there. They'll bring it to you.
While they get Kurt buckled into his car. Make sure that he is settled and safely strapped in with all the safety equipment in place. Here's the Biff.
Craig Biffle had a good 1 and 2.
Yeah, he got in there. Looked like he might have cut it off a little bit short. He held it out wide, but then looked like he got to the bottom a little bit too soon.
Oh, look at that. So close. About
tracking a little better here, maybe. Well, maybe not.
There's a lot of speed down into the center, really letting his car roll.
Is that about 27 thousandths of a second or so?
It's tight.
As he was coming to the line.
Yeah.
Second lap a touch slower. The Biff third fastest so far, 21:32. It's Kevin Harvick leading the way at a 21:297. Lots still to come though from Richmond.
Goal Line from ESPN gives you an unprecedented college football experience. Every Saturday, we take you on a non-stop trip across the country so you can catch every touchdown, every incredible upset, and every wild finish.
Kick it over, covers it!
Live as it happens. But when it counts on Saturday, watch ESPN Goal Line, presented by Capital One. Saturdays noon to midnight. Available on Time Warner Cable, Verizon Fios, and Bright House Networks, and streaming live on Watch ESPN.
Here's to the pursuit. The pursuit of better. Faster. Cleaner. Funner. Here's to the pursuit of a Pennzoil motor oil so advanced, Elio uses it straight from the bottle in his IndyCar. Here's to the pursuit of another 100 years of earning America's trust. Not just oil. Pennzoil.
And slow down. We're CenturyLink, a new kind of broadband company committed to providing honest, personal service from real people. 5-year price lock guarantees, consistently fast speeds, and more ways to customize your technology.
ever seen anything like this before?
No. It's going to spread. In 72 hours, it kills everything.
You come in contact with an infectious disease and you're highly contagious.
Are you sick?
They're moving the president underground. Contagion, rated PG-13, now playing in theaters and IMAX.
Talking a big game about your engine is one thing. Having a proven history that can back it up is a whole other story. Unsurpassed torque, best-in-class towing, legendary Cummins engines. Which engine do you want powering your truck? Guts, glory, Ram.
Clint Boyer will pit next time around.
Clint, you can't pit now.
Who is this?
It's Tommy.
Thought I told you never to call me in here again.
I thought you were kidding. And anyway, look, stay out. I really need a couple more laps led from you today.
Shane's telling me to come in.
Shane? Why would you listen to him?
He's actually my crew chief.
Fine. Pit.
Wait, are you pitting now?
Sign up now for the new NASCAR Fantasy Live on NASCAR.com. The first game ever with live in-race scoring.
Back at Richmond International Raceway with ongoing NASCAR Sprint Cup Series qualifying. Here's the last of the drivers to determine who goes home from this race. Scott Speed on the racetrack. Mike Skinner on the bubble.
Like Skinner's in trouble right here.
That's a pretty good wrestle there, but it is going to be enough to get it done. Scott Speed locked into the field. Mike Skinner is out of Saturday night's race, and Doc is with Jeff Burton.
Another driver who's down here ready to go, missing a race car. NASCAR being very, very meticulous with their inspection, as well they should be. And Jeff, I want to talk about this racetrack. Being a Virginia boy, no one loves coming here more than you. What would it mean to you or this team to get a win or have a great run here tomorrow night?
Well, it mean a lot. You know, where we are right now has been a really frustrating year. I was actually standing on pit road thinking that as much as I enjoy being at racetracks, being here not involved in a chase in any form or fashion is really discouraging. And it's no way to come to the racetrack. It's pretty much a downer. But you know, the only way we can get back where we need to be is just go work. And you know, we just keep working and striving to be better. And we've got good people, and there's a lot of effort. And I think we'll get there. But it's been a long year.
When your car gets here, good luck to you.
Thank you.
Well, Kurt Busch has got his car, guys, on the racetrack.
Yes, sir. Will it have been worth the wait? From his perspective. So far.
See, another driver drove it in there pretty hard, picked up a lot of time on the invest. That's what I was talking about. You get that extra grip because 3 and 4 is shaded, so you're going faster as you enter turn 1, carrying more speed than you did in practice, and sometimes you're just not quite ready for it.
So if you let off at the exact same place you've been letting off, you're too deep.
Yes.
13th on the first lap for Kurt.
And as a driver, you're always trying to get a little bit more, so you're not going to let off where you didn't practice to start with. You're going to take it a little bit further than that. Yeah, much better lap.
Look at that. All the way up to third at a 21:31 for Kurt.
And we talked about at the beginning, would the first lap or the second lap be faster? Looks like it's really spread pretty evenly among the cars, first and second laps.
I really think a lot of it has to do with preference, tire pressure wise, as to what these teams and drivers, a lot of them are expecting to go faster on the second lap, so their air pressures adjusted to reflect that it'll be at the exact pressures that they want when that second lap starts.
Here is Rocket Man. Last 7 races, 2 poles and 5 top 10 qualifying efforts for this 39.
That thing really loose getting into turn 1. See him turning right more than he was turning left.
And that's always a difficult thing.
That'll be 17th on lap 1. Ryan locking in his place in the chase on Tuesday in Atlanta. Look Looking for another win and maybe some more bonus points toward that championship in Saturday night's race.
He's got a lot better lap than one here.
It'd be good. 7th for Newman so far. That's a pretty big pickup there. Couple tenths.
Yeah, first lap he just got sideways getting into turn 1, and the second lap.
There you go.
Yeah, we saw it.
Already 9 cars have run in the 21-30 bracket.
I know, that's the way it is, these short tracks. They'll be really, really close all the way down.
There's a California connection there.
It's Casey Mears and his dad.
Roger, yeah, with Jimmy Johnson.
And they're talking about off-road racing here or something. They're not talking about racing here, I'll guarantee you, not with that group right there.
Yeah. Casey with a really good lap in practice earlier. Going to be one of the last cars to run. He's 3rd to last. Jimmy is 2nd to last. Speaking of Casey's.
I knew it was coming.
Love it when a plan comes together, huh?
Okay.
Got a chance.
Oh, it was close.
That is close.
Another one in the 30s.
4th so far for Casey. Another lap to go.
See a little dip there come through middle 1 and 2, though. I believe he's going to be able to do it.
Casey Kane started 4th, finished 3rd in the race here back in April. For now, he's qualified 4th fastest for this one. And when you looked at the 10-lap averages over practice, that 4 car showed up pretty high on the list.
It'd be nice to see them put together a whole race. We've seen them be fast and have a lot of good things going on, but it's like at some point in time during that first half of the race, they kind of lose their focus or lose track position for some reason, whether it was the car handling a little bit bad or a stop that didn't go as well. And then they just struggle to find that and make the right adjustments from that point.
16 cars to go. Vince?
Saw Kurt Busch reviewing some notes when you climbed out of the car. What did they tell you about your qualifying run?
We had to get through tech, and we had to rush that thing through and then strap my belts on and get out there and just try to do the best we could. And car's been real tight in qualifying trim, and it stayed that way. So might have left a little bit out there being on the tight side of things. But all in all, a good run with our Shell Pennzoil Dodge.
Nerve-wracking when you're waiting on your car and all of a sudden you got to hop in it real quick and go?
Well, I tell you, the car, with the way the pit area is set up, with this tent and that tent, with wheelbase gauges and weight gauges, there's about 6,000 people in the infield with all these pit passes, and the crew guys have to dodge everybody trying to get the car through tech.
Yeah, keep an eye on Kurt tomorrow night, Alan.
And we'll keep an eye on Marcos Ambrose tomorrow night as well. Win? He could be in if some other circumstances fall the right way. But Ambrose is going to be mid-pack for the start of that one, right in the old danger zone there. 18th fastest out of 31 so far. It is Kevin Harvick leading qualifying at Richmond.
Their stories will touch you.
The equipment's so outdated, I'm afraid that someone's going to get hurt.
And the transformation
We need help. That's my plea.
will amaze you. This fall,
Things like this don't happen to our school.
witness a community come together around 4 high schools in need.
Rise up is coming. Rise up is coming.
A chance to rebuild, reach out, and rise up. Presented by Real Steel. Premieres Tuesday night at 7 on ESPN.
What does it take to be a top-rated pit crew? Your 40-hour work week, you can go ahead and throw it in the garbage.
5-hour energy is part of the team because it helps keep us going.
You can do a 5-hour shot and be good to go for the whole race.
Coffee just doesn't cut it.
There are a few teams that do go after the 5-hour energy inside the truck, but we try to keep them away.
You know, they see the edge that it gives us, and they want the same thing.
This is going to war.
5-hour energy. What's driving you?
At Goodyear, everything we've learned making these tires inspires what we roll into yours. Goodyear, more driven.
Artists are inspired by color. So are our engineers. Wagner Thermal Quiet Brake Pads. Brakes without compromise.
As a team owner in the NASCAR Nationwide Series, I know pleasing fans is a top priority. Because without the fans, there'd be no NASCAR. Just like if it weren't for customers, there'd be no Nationwide. That's why they serve their customers' needs, not shareholder profits. Because as a mutual, Nationwide doesn't report to Wall Street. They report to their customers. And that's just one more reason why the Earnhardt family has trusted Nationwide for more than 30 years. Nationwide is on your side.
Most advanced engine in its class, 50 horsepower, dual overhead cams, and fierce acceleration, the Gator XUV 825i will shatter your expectations.
Back at Richmond with 15 cars to go in NASCAR Sprint Cup Series qualifying to set the starting field for tomorrow night's 400-lap race. This is Bobby Labonte looking for his starting spot.
Bobby had a tough day at Atlanta, spun out and then ended up hitting the wall. But he said he was really excited about coming here to Richmond.
Bobby's never won here. Got a couple of second-place finishes. Surprising. You think of Bobby, he's a really good short-track racer, but hasn't been fortunate enough to put it all together in one night.
Up out of the shade of 3 and 4, down the bright sunlight of 1 and 2. Labonte is 22nd fastest on his first lap. Right now tracking about 16th, 17th with lap 2. Lost a little bit there, but 18th position on the second lap for the former champion at a 21.513. And there are now 14 cars left to go in qualifying. Reminder that Sunday morning, ESPN2 has a new lineup. We'll start with Outside the Lines at 10 a.m. Eastern, followed by ESPN's The Sports Reporters, then Sports Center and ESPN's Fantasy Football Now. New Sunday morning lineup starting this Sunday on ESPN2. Ryan Newman, 8th for now, Vince.
Ryan Newman carrying the U.S. Army colors, of course, and I understand you had a pretty special day yesterday at the Pentagon Memorial and also Arlington Cemetery, carrying a special paint scheme this weekend. What's it mean to drive the U.S. Army car on 9/11 weekend?
Well, I've always said it's an honor to represent the soldiers, and for me, representing people is a unique part of our sport as far as a sponsor goes, but represent the ones that passed away at the Pentagon in that 9/11 instance is kind of bittersweet. I mean, we're here to represent the soldiers, represent the Army, represent all the good things about it, but some of that part is the bad things, and just an honor to represent them, honor to get to meet a lot of the people yesterday at the Pentagon, and just thinking about their friends and families 10 years later. It impacted our world, it impacted our nation more importantly, but it's something that we all think about, especially 10 years later now.
Thanks for doing it. Alan?
Ryan Newman bumped back to 9th position, Vince, by that man, Jamie McMurray, as you look at the names of some of the 75 United States Army personnel who were lost in the attack on the Pentagon on September 11th of 2001. A lot of star-spangled paint schemes here this weekend commemorating that anniversary, including on that one car. You see the stars down on the side sheet metal.
Pretty good lap by McMurray. He's almost a 10th faster than second place, and that's, with all these times being so close, that's a really good lap.
Yeah, that's putting a big distance with everything, like you said, and with everything being so close up to that point. I think we may see now the 20s start becoming the number that a lot of these cars get into.
Denny Hamlin has won this race the last 2 straight years in this 11 car. Started 3rd and 14th in those 2 wins. First lap for Hamlin, 17th. Another one still to go. You look at Denny's success at this racetrack. He's led laps in every start in his career here except one. And I don't just mean a couple laps by getting out there on a cycle of pit stops. I mean leading 280-something, 381, 299, 251.
Well, he's not going to lead the first one.
No.
Saturday night.
Yeah.
He's got a little work to do to get up there.
Denny said earlier in practice today
Not
that
good. Really tight.
Yeah, said the one thing that they struggled with is speed here, and I think the thing that makes him good is that little bit of tightness that he has in his car on long runs. He really beats people here, but it doesn't pay off too well for him qualifying. He'll be up there when it's time to go, though.
I think so. Vince is with the new leader in qualifying.
On the pole currently, how much of an indication is this maybe what kind of race car you have for tomorrow?
Yeah, our Bass Pro Shop Chevy, we struggled a little bit the first practice, and we ran the spring in for the second practice, and the car was really good, and Juan threw that same setup in for qualifying. So feel really good about it. We had just a really good day. Bono said on the radio after our qualifying lap, it was just one of those days everything was smooth and went the way it should. So we started off, we've had a really tough year, but honestly the last month it's been pretty good, and even tracks that we struggled at last year we've run better at, and this has been one of those tracks. So I feel pretty good about it.
Yeah, well done. Alan?
Jamie McMurray leading Kyle Busch on his second lap. Going to be better than the first.
Be another one in the 30s there, I believe.
They made a big jump on the board.
Outside of row 3 for now for Kyle Busch. 11 cars to go, including the man who was fastest in practice, Jeff Gordon.
1, 2, 3, hit me! A jump start for your game, not your nerves. Watch me! Watch me! Super! The proven push, stamina in a bottle, the original Gatorade. Sometimes I feel so nice. And thirst-quenching protein to help restore your body while cooling you down. Prime, perform, recover. The G-Series from Gatorade.
You okay? I'm not looking forward to my flight. Try this. Bear aspirin. I'm not having a heart attack. It's my back.
No, this is new Bear Advanced Aspirin. Clinically proven to relieve tough pain twice as fast as before.
Would you invent this or something?
Well, my team did. I'm Dr. Eric First from Bear.
Wow.
Look, it has microparticles. It enters the bloodstream faster and rushes relief right to the site of pain. Better?
Great. Thanks.
New Bear Advanced Aspirin. Extra strength pain relief twice as fast. Test our fast relief. Look out for your coupon in this Sunday's papers.
Through turn 1, it's still Richard Petty wins the Southeastern 500.
This is how a young man was crowned a king. And a kid from Dawsonville finally lived up to his nickname. This is when we discovered just how high smoke can rise. It's where family traditions get started. And other traditions get taken in a whole new direction.
Taking a backwards lap.
This is where names are engraved, not just in metal, but in history.
Go live from ESPN. You can catch every incredible upset and every wild finish. As it happens, Saturdays noon to midnight. Available on Time Warner Cable, Verizon Fios, and Bright House Networks, and streaming live on Watch ESPN.
Richmond, it's the last chance to make Chase dreams a reality. For Denny, Tony, and Dale Jr., it means win or go home. The NASCAR Sprint Cup Series at Richmond, tomorrow at 7 p.m. Eastern on ABC.
Are your credit cards maxed out? Just making minimum payments or even behind on your bills? Call us now. Freedom Debt Relief's mission is to help you get rid of your credit card debt. Reducing America's credit card debt is vital for our economy. Now, there's a program to help you. We offer the successful alternative to bankruptcy, credit counseling, or taking on new loans.
I had over $25,000 in credit card debt. Then I called Freedom Debt Relief and got my debt cut in half. I resolved my debt in about 24 months.
At the end of my divorce, I had $17,000 in credit card debt. Then I called Freedom Debt Relief. They were able to settle all 7 of my credit card bills with one low monthly program payment.
This program has saved our clients over $100 million. Before you make your next credit card payment, talk to us. This is a unique program that will get you relief and on your way to resolving your debt. Make the most important call of your life today.
Call Freedom Debt Relief now at 1-800-652-0335. That's 1-800-652-0335. 1-800-652-0335.
NASCAR Sprint Cup Series qualifying from the Richmond International Raceway, setting the field for Saturday night's 400-lapper that you'll see at 7 Eastern on ABC tomorrow. Regan Smith, front row starter for the race here in April. Heard from him earlier down on pit road as he was getting ready to go. Comparing his lap to Jamie McMurray's, the current leader in qualifying.
Not a bad first lap. That's 14th, but it's at 21:39, so that's one of those high 30s. Pick it up a tenth or so here. Be in good shape. Looks like that's happening right here.
No, that ticker's not moving the right way for him there, is it? Second lap a little slower, so Regan Smith 14th out of 36 for the moment. A.J. Allmendinger, could he get pole position today, Doc?
I don't know about the pole, but, you know, A.J. said if I can just get to Richmond with a chance for the chase, we might have a shot. Well, buddy, you got a chance. How about it?
No pressure on us. You know, for guys like Clint Boyer, Greg Biffle, those guys are supposed to be in the chase. There might be some pressure, but nobody thought we'd be here. We got a fast Best Buy Ford at Richmond here. I'm excited. To quote one of my favorite movies from Dumb and Dumber, so you're saying there's a chance. There's a chance we go out and win this thing. Might have a chance to go make the chase, so we'll go have some fun this weekend.
No pressure at all. By the way, they do think they have a shot at the front row anyway.
Oh, good stuff. Yeah, I love it.
Mark Martin. He's hunting.
Pretty good lap here.
Yeah. Oh, that's close.
Oh, that was close. Good lap.
Second fastest on that one for Mark. Let's see if this one can be a little bit better.
Adding one more start here to this long sheet that I'm looking at.
I know. You see, we got a sheet on all these guys' starts. That one right there is a long one.
This will be his 52nd start at Richmond. 52 starts at this racetrack.
Man, that's a lot of races.
Not going to quite get the pole in this one. Got pole the first time he came here.
It wasn't on this track, though. It was on the old design.
Yep.
Basically a half-mile layout.
21-24 for
in a
Mark
big
Martin.
arc and got in real hard and got it down on metal or something, and it wouldn't turn.
That's that extra speed we're talking about. It also makes the cars travel a little bit more when they get in this banking, so it can actually hurt you sometimes by doing that.
So Mark second fastest right now behind Jamie McMurray. With 9 cars to go, Brad Keselowski on the track, Doc.
And before climbing in the car a moment ago, I asked him, I said, how much of a shot do you have? He said, you know, Doc, this is the kind of track I grew up on racing. I absolutely just charged it into the corner like I did in the Nationwide car. No one thought I had a top 5 car there. And guess what? I'm on the pole in Nationwide. I'm going to do the same thing with the Cup car and hope it sticks.
Didn't stick.
Yeah, not in the first lap. Not enough, anyway. That is going to put him down in 12th position with another lap to go.
We were having a little fun here before qualifying, picking who we thought. And Ricky Craven, I saw on NASCAR Now, picked him to win the Nationwide pole, which he went out and did. So I followed suit, thought he might win this pole. Doesn't look like I picked it right.
Well, it looks like your horse may not be able to get you there, Dale, but Alan's picking A.J. Allmendinger. We'll see how that works out.
Maybe
I jumped that way out on a limb and picked Jeff Gordon.
Yeah. Maybe you should have called Ricky.
Yeah.
That'll be 12th fastest for Brad Keselowski at a 21:38. And again, following up, he is on the pole for tonight's NASCAR Nationwide Series race. Immediately following our qualifying coverage, we'll go into NASCAR Countdown and then see the Nationwide guys go at it here at Richmond tonight for 250 laps. Here's your guy.
He's going to get it done, I think. He's been strong. I mean, ever since he unloaded that car off the truck, been fast. Here's a guy that needs a good run, though.
Jeff Burton on the track. While we watch him, we talk with Mark Martin.
50-plus races for you here at Richmond. I'm not going to ask you to recount all of them, but how was the qualifying run for this one?
It was a great run. I really want to thank everybody on the Quaker State Chevrolet and everybody at Hendrick Motorsports. Lance McGrew and all the guys on the 5-car really hit the setup nice there, and it was a very good lap. I was pleased.
Good luck, Mark. AB?
Mark second, being challenged for that spot by Jeff Burton. Burton's first lap was third quickest. Just lost some time there.
Yeah, he carried a lot of speed. You can see getting into turn 3 and just more than the tires would hold. But that was a great first lap for Jeff. Going to get him a good spot.
How about that? 21-26 for Jeff. Heard him say earlier, it's just no fun to come here not having any shot or being any factor in this championship. But really what they need to do with this 31 team is use these final 11 races to get going to start next year with some momentum.
And they will. I'll tell you, Jeff Burton is just the guy to lead them there.
Yeah, that's the key, Andy, is his leadership abilities and qualities that he has in doing that will help this team get back and be a part of the chase next year.
He talked about how he'd gotten away, they had gotten away a little bit from having him as involved as he liked to be. And they've kind of gone back to having him with his head up under the cars and in all the meetings and so on at the children's shops. David Ruderman.
Good here.
And there's that speed getting into 3.
A little loose right there.
Here he goes, though.
Oh, working good.
Nice lap.
Got it done. New leader, David Ruderman. Down in the 21 teens, 21.196.
How low will they go?
That is kind of the question, isn't it?
See just how much shade there is in 3 and 4. Got to be a lot of grip there. Now you're starting to get the angle of the sun so low and turn 1 and 2.
21.90.
Track temp's coming down there too.
Get the information from his crew chief, and for David Ruderman, that's going to be the #1 spot for now. He's got to wait out 6 more guys, though. Good lap, though.
Yep, 6 good ones to go, though.
Tomorrow night, the Michigan Wolverines are going to play under the lights for the first time ever in the Big House in Ann Arbor. Denard Robinson and Michigan hosting Michael Floyd and the Notre Dame Fighting Irish. It's college football presented by Hampton Hotels on ESPN and ESPN3 tomorrow at 8 Eastern. Also streaming live on WatchESPN.com and the Watch ESPN app. That'll be a good one, too.
Yeah, TiVo that, because you're not going to want to miss this race live.
I agree. Without question. Carl Edwards qualified second for the nationwide race. Was an almost pick in our little off-the-air discussion.
Well, he wouldn't have been right either.
Well, first lap for Carl, 6th fastest. And that is going to be the one. 21.309 for Carl. Won't be right at the front, but he'll be able to see it from there when they wave the green flag. And that's better than being back in the middle of the mayhem.
It tells me he's the man to beat tonight in the nationwide race.
Yeah?
Yeah, that's
reliable sources?
Mm-hmm. Very, very much so.
So you put tape on the inside of the windshield so that sun doesn't get in Jeff's eyes going down. I guess it's down in turn 1.
Yeah.
It's the only place I see sun on the track. It might be coming down the back straight
off of 2.
Yeah.
Gordon, the fastest man in practice. He'll be the last car out to qualify. Here is A.J. Allmendinger.
Yeah, you can see right there from that camera shot that the sun's shining right in their face. And then it goes into darkness. That whole turn 3 and 4 is dark.
A little slide there. Cost them a lot of ground off turn 4. 12th fastest with that lap.
Your horse is going to pick it up second lap here, Alan. He's doing it. It's close.
Been a good racetrack for AJ and for this team, and for them, nothing to lose. Win, and a couple other things happen, and they have a shot at getting into the chase.
Struggle for grip off turn 4. You can hear the car getting a little bit loose.
Does pick it up, though.
Yep.
That second lap.
Same thing for him, as I said, for Carl. He won't be at the front, but he'll be able to see it from there. The man who is at the front for the moment is with Vince.
As the sun peaks behind the cloud, how much was changing track condition and how much was real good race car?
Well, I mean, we did have a pretty good Airstream machine and qualifying trim, so I felt like we were going to be okay. You know, again, we got a couple guys who got to dodge here, but definitely the track getting cooler always helps. But that's why you go out there and try to post a lap early and try to get a good starting position. So it's not a lot has gone good for us this year, so hopefully let's give us a good start for the weekend. And I gotta mention that the Aaron's Freedom Ride, these guys have rode their bikes over 1,000 miles, ending up in New York tomorrow to raise awareness for all the stuff that happened around 9/11. We support them, and over 1,000 miles on a bike, that's a lot around to cover, and they're going to be in New York tomorrow, so that's pretty cool.
Alan? It is. And Clint Boyer, one of the guys that David's got to dodge here.
Good
Boyer,
first lap, but he slipped a little bit.
They got it going pretty good here. I'll see if he can keep it going down the back straightaway.
Second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth. That's going the wrong way.
It's going, yeah. It's lost all the grip in the tires now.
So for Clint Boyer, first lap, the one that did the job, 21.258, fourth fastest for Clint. Gotta win.
Noticing when Vince was talking to David Ruderman that he mentioned changing track conditions and a good race car and all that, he wasn't giving the driver much credit.
That's David, though, right? Very self-deprecating. So we saw all the Nationwide guys second lap be fastest for almost all of them, and now here in the Sprint Cup side, it's almost all the first lap.
Seems like this cooler track has enhanced that a little bit too, because about midway through qualifying, it looked like it was a good mix. You know, some had a fast first lap, some second. Here lately, it's been that first lap.
Down to the final 3 cars. Here's Casey Mears. Put up a good number in that first practice.
See that sun shining right in their face coming off of turn 2. It's got to be tough, Dale, when that happens and then you go into that dark turn 3, you know, from that bright sun.
Yeah, it'll definitely mess with you a little bit. Looks like Casey's car's a little bit on the tight side here. It's not rolling through the center like you'd want to. Carried a lot of speed that time, but he's paying the price on the exit.
Yep. See right where that graph turns directions, right in the middle between 1 and 2.
Yeah, you actually want this. You want that speed to be coming up off of the corner, so you carry it down the straightaway. If you carry that extra speed through the middle and late exit.
Too tight to the center, buddy. Couldn't get turned.
I heard that just a minute ago too. That's 28th from Casey Mears at a 21.477, leaving 2 to go. David Ruderman on the pole, and the man who raced it out for the win on Tuesday afternoon in Atlanta left to try and bump him back. 5-time and 4-time.
I'm going to say these next 2 guys are pretty good at this.
139 wins between these 2 drivers.
Yeah, 9 championships.
Jimmy Johnson. Couple of poles here at Richmond, a few wins.
Okay, see how that line's coming up off the corner?
Yeah,
It's getting build speed. That's what you want to see. You do it off of this corner. It's not carrying it off of turn 4 like he did off of turn 2.
That's 3rd for Jimmy on his first lap.
And he's close.
It's showing me, too, that Ruderman really got his car down into turn 3 and didn't give up anything. Jimmy really got off of 2, though, didn't he?
Got a little in the bank, at the back straightaway. Oh, man.
Oh, went the wrong way there.
Yep. Well, he carried all that speed down into 3 and looked like that car just wouldn't stick right in the center.
21-22, excellent lap. 3rd, though, for Jimmy Johnson. Leaving us 1 car to go. Talked about that fabulous fight to the finish on Atlanta's 1.5-mile track on Tuesday. Jeff Gordon, Jimmy Johnson, both fighting it out, slipping and sliding around, fighting through some of the traffic at the end. Came off that last corner. Jimmy had it hanging out sideways, trying to find a way to get to Jeff, but it was Jeff Gordon scoring that career win, number 85, and moving to 3rd on NASCAR's all-time win list for the Sprint Cup Series.
Yeah, that was 10 fantastic laps to watch. Now we'll see if he can win the pole like Andy picked the favorite to do.
Last car.
I said I was jumping out on a limb. Oh, man. Not good so far.
Back to that question I asked you at the top of qualifying. How much could you expect the car to be like it was at the end of practice? That's 32nd for Jeff Gordon on that first lap.
Yeah, that's a throwaway lap.
Yeah, their lap that they did that on was way early, and I'm sure this racetrack is quite a bit different than whenever they did that first thing out today at noon.
It might just have been, Andy.
No.
You can see he's still struggling down the middle of 3 there.
Not good off of turn 4.
That is only going to be good for 17.
35 on my watch.
21.
Is loose. It's just hard to be aggressive as you need with the steering wheel and the throttle together in this racetrack. When your car's loose, you're wanting to give it the gas, but you're turning right, and that doesn't really go together too much.
That is a 21-36, 17th position for Jeff Gordon, putting David Ruderman on pole for the 4th time in his NASCAR Sprint Cup Series career, and the first here at Richmond, Vince.
Well, how big a shot of in the arm is it for you guys to sit on the pole here at Richmond?
Well, you know, I mean, it's great to get that in the Aaron's Dream Machine, and the guys have been really, really working hard. There's no secret that we've been, haven't had the season we wanted to have. So this definitely starts the weekend off right anyway, and gives us obviously a good starting position, a great pit selection. But hopefully we'll have the Aaron's Dream Machine up front, keep it up front. That's the name of the game. But really proud of my guys, Rodney Childers, everybody that works on this thing, Toyota Racing Development, man, good horsepower today, so we'll see where we end up tomorrow.
David Ruderman, he'll start from the pole in the Sprint Cup race here at Richmond. Doc?
How about 5-time champion Jimmy Johnson? And Jimmy, we were watching your lap, and Dale Jarrett said, wow, coming off 2, you were a rocket ship. But going into 3, you had your hands full.
Yeah, I owe my guys on this one. Great effort. Being third is great, but that first lap, there was more in the car. I just didn't know what effort level to commit to. And the first lap, I knew I was a little under it. And the second lap, I think I exceeded it going into turn 3. I got it right down to 1 and 2, but a little too fast into 3 and missed my marks. So I owe my team, but still with a miss on my behalf. Great qualifying effort for this Lowe's Chevrolet. And this track's been awfully tough on us in years past, but today has gone very, very well. And I think we'll really have something for these guys tomorrow night.
Jimmy, since Tuesday, fans have been talking about that fabulous race between you and Jeff Gordon, the final 10 laps at Atlanta. What about tomorrow night? Jeff's been awfully good in practice, and you're good here. Can we see another 1-2 battle for you two Hendrick cars?
Man, I hope so. I hope it's 1 through 4 for us. Selfishly, I want to be the winner of that deal. But, you know, last week I think speaks to the type of grip level needed for our Cup cars to put on a good show. When you get sideways there, you're already lacking grip. So when you get sideways, the tire can slide more and doesn't just, you know, come out from under you and put you in the fence. At a Charlotte, some of these new repaves that we go to, when you lean on the tire that hard and there's that much grip, when it's gone, you wreck. In Atlanta, we don't have that for some reason. And I'm so happy to hear the fans enjoyed the race. I had a blast driving it. You know, losing isn't the best thing in the world, but everybody knows I left it all out there. And if I'm not going to win, I want a teammate too. So it was a great day for Hendrick Motorsports. And there's been a lot of work going on behind the scenes through our engine shop and chassis shops. And I take this moment to thank them for all their hard work too. Hendrick Motorsports is looking awfully good as we get closer to the chase.
Hey, good luck tomorrow night.
Thank you.
Jimmy Johnson, guys.
Well, we sure know we left it all out there in Atlanta. Left it all out there today, too. Well, not quite, according to him. And Johnson winds up third. David Ruderman, the pole winner. Jeff Gordon, disappointed.
Losing weight clicked for me when I realized that Weight Watchers Online was for guys, too. I'm like, it's not rainbows and lollipops.
After I read this beer cheat sheet, I knew what the difference was between a light beer and a dark beer as far as points go.
I use the grilling cheat sheet, drag it over onto the grill, and it gives you a point value. This is a plan for men.
I lost 109 pounds.
Oh, man, you're on Weight Watchers Online. That's funny. And I go, really? I look a lot better than you right now.
Join now and get 1 month free. Hurry, offer ends September 17th. Weight Watchers Online for men. Finally, losing weight clicks.
I've been doing this for 15 years. And when you dedicate your life to something, you expect something in return. I guess you could say this is the return. Welcome to my world, the world of Red Bull.
You know those lucky dogs with that perfect amount of gray hair that everyone loves? Now you can be one of them. Touch of Gray combs away a little gray without getting rid of it all. Touch of Gray. Get the best of both.
As City Financial, we were always there to help our customers with personalized loan solutions. Now, as One Main Financial, that commitment remains the same. How do I know? I work there. And I live here.
Sunday NFL Countdown starts an hour earlier. It's the AFC North's most ferocious rivalry. And when will Peyton Manning return to football? We'll have the latest on his injury. Sunday NFL Countdown, now at 10 a.m. on ESPN.
This copyrighted telecast may not be reproduced, retransmitted, or used in any form without the authorized written consent of NASCAR Broadcasting. NASCAR would like to thank all of our loyal fans for your continued support, and we hope you enjoyed today's broadcast.
NASCAR Sprint Cup qualifying is brought to you by Weight Watchers Online for Men. Finally, losing weight clicks.
Back at Richmond, David Ruderman on the pole for tomorrow night's NASCAR Sprint Cup race. Jeff Gordon will start 17th. Vince?
Gave a lot of race fans a thrill with that victory at Atlanta on Tuesday, and maybe had a little more thrill than you wanted in that qualifying run. I know that wasn't what you wanted, but how's your race car for tomorrow night?
Our race car's been awesome. You know, you have to try to guess from the day practice to what the conditions are going to be in, and the car turned a lot better than I expected, so we got pretty loose right there. But I know the car's fast, and we're excited to have Chase on board this weekend with our Drive to End Hunger Chevrolet helping us out and all the support. We appreciate them and all the fans, and can't wait to for tomorrow, because if you text hunger to 50555, I'm going to match every donation that gets made here tomorrow. So it's a big weekend for us, and still the momentum is with this race team. And even though we didn't qualify too good right there, we had a great race car in practice. So hopefully we can work our way to the front.
Yeah, we'll look forward to seeing it tomorrow night. Jeff Gordon, guys.
All right, Vince, thanks. So look at the starting lineup for tomorrow night's 400-lap go. David Ruderman, 16th driver to win a pole this year. Can he become the 16th driver to win a race this year? Maybe.
Yeah, I don't think there's any doubt. And a couple of guys that need to win tomorrow night, Clint Boyer and A.J. Allmendinger in the top 10.
Brad Keselowski back there in 10th position, trying to work his way, 10th row rather, trying to work his way into the top 10 in points.
Yeah, and Denny Hamlin's got a little work to do.
Tony Stewart, Dale Earnhardt Jr. back there in the middle of the mayhem zone.
Absolutely. Marcus Ambrose needing a second win to try to get himself in. Long way to go. 400 laps to get there, though.
And there are other drivers who round out the field. Non-qualifiers were Mike Skinner, Eric Darnell, and T.J. Bell. So that's it. Grid is set for tomorrow night's race. Going to be a good one.
Should be a lot of fun, a lot of action, a lot to talk about all night.
Can't wait.
That's tomorrow night, ABC, starting at 7 Eastern Time, the NASCAR Sprint Cup Series race here in Richmond. But now, it's time for the Nationwide Series boys to take the stage. Coverage presented by Jack Daniels. We go to NASCAR Countdown and Nicole Briscoe.
Thank you very much, Mr. Alan Bestwick. It's been a busy day in Richmond already, because turn on the lights and turn up the intensity. The NASCAR Nationwide Series title is on the line in Richmond. Now, Ricky Stenhouse Jr. has the most points. Elliott Sadler has the most experience. And Reed Sorensen has the all-too raw reminder that there is a very fine line between teammate and foe. But tonight, even the title fight will face a bit of a challenge from NASCAR's superstars. Some familiar, some already champions, and in one particular case, she is a one-name wonder. It's Danica versus Carl, Kyle, Kevin, and Brad. Under the lights at Richmond, the only question is whose name will command the most attention. Short track, short fuses, big names, and the fight for a spot in the record books. This is Richmond. It has already been, as we've been telling you all day long, a very busy day of racing action, and we're about to kick it off with an actual race. This is